Hi everyone and welcome, this is the Apostate Prophet. Islam has its ways to make you remember your duties throughout the day. And one of those ways is screaming into your innocent ears that Allah is the greatest, that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. 5 times a day, just so you never forget that. The Islamic call to prayer is called the Adhan, and comes from the word for listening or hearing, and could mean announcement. The Adhan is recited 5 times a day at the beginning of every prayer time of the day and is supposed to prompt everyone to stop whatever they are doing and to attend the prayer, preferably together with a crowd at the mosque. It goes Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Just kidding, I'm not going to do that to you. I'll make it worse and play one of those agonizing sounds. It goes like this: Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Meaning Allah is the greatest 4 times. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, meaning I testify that there is no God but Allah, twice. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, I testify that Muhammad is his messenger, twice. Always has to be there because you have to swear to the Prophet in order to be accepted by the one and only Allah, who just wants you to believe in one God. Hayya ala salah, hurry to the prayer, twice. Hayya ala falah, hurry to salvation, twice. And then again, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. La ilaha illallah, there is no God but Allah. Looking at it now, it looks like whoever came up with this had no idea what to say, so he just rambled and thought, okay, this is it. This is what we'll say when we pray. And maybe that's not very far from how it actually happened. According to the Hadith, the Azan didn't exist at the beginning of Islam. The Muslims would just guess the time of the prayer, and then they would come together and pray. But they thought this system doesn't work, it's kind of weird, it needs to be fixed. So some people suggested that a fire should be lit for the prayer time, like Zoroastrians apparently do. Others that a bell should be rang, like Christians do. Others that a horn should be used. Muhammad didn't like any of those suggestions because others do that and Muslims have to be better. So he ordered one of his followers, Bilal, to go to a high spot and to recite the Adhan. It was Muhammad's advisor Omar who came up with the idea. Some narrations also say that one of Muhammad's followers heard the Adhan in his dream and told Muhammad about it, who then said that this is the call to prayer. Shia Muslims believe that Allah revealed the Adhan to Muhammad, and there was no human intervention at all. So in the end it is a giant mess that Muslims cannot really agree on, as always. And the whole thing seems to be based on an arbitrary decision. What they ended up with is Allah is the greatest. There is no God but Allah. Muhammad is Allah's messenger. Go pray. Go be saved. Allah is the greatest. There is no other God. Very intelligent. Fantastic. I have to applaud the creativity of the great mind behind this combination of words. Of course, Muhammad didn't come up with that all by himself. It was inspired by the almighty, wise, creative Allah, who is really a master of words. He also wrote the best book ever, and just so you know, he also said numerous times that he wrote the best book and that no one can write a better book. Seriously, living in a Muslim country is very dark, especially if you don't believe in this religion and if you are part of a religious minority, and if you are oppressed in the country already, that you are told all day, every day, that Allah is the greatest and there is no God but Allah. Go pray to Allah, don't pray to fake gods. It's even worse when you have used your mind and you have stopped believing, and this voice keeps telling you over and over again that Allah is the greatest and there is no other God but Allah. In an ideal Islamic nation, people are obligated to go and pray when they hear the call to prayer. Worse, it even speaks for you. This voice testifies in your name. It literally says, I testify that there is no God but Allah. This is very intrusive and offensive, and should never be allowed in a non-Muslim environment. If Christians had such a call to prayer, we would probably be banning it all over the West right now because Muslims are offended. In Muslim countries, where this call to prayer is lengthily and painfully recited 5 times a day, where you have to hear it every time and can't avoid it, you are supposed to shut up and be respectful when it goes off. And normally you should even accompany it and respond to it. These are rulings that Muslims themselves can't endure in their daily lives. Muslims who live in non-Muslim lands will go online to listen to exceptional, beautiful recitations of the Adhan, but they don't have the nerves to actually endure it in reality. They like the concept of the call to prayer because it symbolizes their identity and their belief. The presence of the Azan means that this is a Muslim country. It has a certain symbolism to it. The Islamic call to prayer reminds me of a totalitarian system. The leader built this system and was given this task by the maker, the creator, who needs your complete obedience. And every day, 5 times a day, a voice praises the leader and tells you to praise and worship the creator, so you never forget it. It is ridiculous that Allah wouldn't just let you live your life and show that you are a good person, a decent human. Allah is a control freak who commands you 5 times a day and in every moment of your life to worship Him and to obey Him and not to lift your head. It sounds similar to one of my favorite old movies, The Time Machine from 1960, which is based on H.G. Wells' book of the same name. The movie is slightly different from the book. In the story, the protagonist, known as the Time Traveler, builds a time machine and travels into the future. He arrives in 802,701. There he encounters a people called the Eloi, the descendants of humans. The Eloi look all very similar to each other. They are all the same. They have no hobbies, no proper intelligence, no culture, no joy, nothing. The time traveler is very upset and mad that this is what humans have become. He discovers this building that looks like the Sphinx, that leads to an industrial underground civilization known as the Morlocks. The Morlocks are basically monsters and descendants of the working class. What reminds me of the Islamic call to prayer and Islam in this story is that a siren goes off every day or every now and then. And when this siren begins to sound, the Eloi all become hypnotized and quiet and mindlessly walk toward the Sphinx building. Those inside are then eaten by the Morlocks. After a while, the siren stops and those outside carry on with their shallow daily lives. The siren coming from the Sphinx in this story is like the Islamic call to prayer that comes from the mosque. It invites the people to mindlessly follow the signal, go in and be consumed by the system. The fact that the Eloi have no joy in life, are all the same, and live a pretty dark life reminds me of how Islam is so devoid of joy. Everyone's every action is controlled so much that they are all the same in Islam. There is a great difference though, to be fair. Women and men are equal in the time machine, while in Islam it's the opposite. Anyways, if you happen to watch the movie sometime, especially if you are a Muslim, and you see that the siren goes off and the people walk toward it, just think about this. Just a thought. For me, I'm glad that I'm in America and I don't have to hear this annoying sound every day. I can now study and decide for myself whether Allah is the greatest or not, and whether I should hurry to pray to Him or not. I can think for myself without being loudly told every day what to think and what to do. Maybe if you live in a Muslim land, you just need a break from that sound. Do your brain a favor. Oh, and by the way, here is a very insightful hadith related to our topic. Let's end this talk with something very intelligent and mature. Narrated by Abu Huraira, Allah's apostle said, "When the Adhan is pronounced, Satan takes to his heels and passes wind with noise during his flight in order not to hear the Adhan." This is so stupid. Just so you know what to do next time when you hear the Adhan. Thanks for watching. This video is the greatest. 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 Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Subscribe. Support me on Patreon. Support me on Patreon. This video is the greatest. This video is the greatest. Stay away from Islam. Stay away from Islam. Stay away from Islam. Stay away from Islam.